Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm part of the sales team at Cranfield, and I'm here with our Artist Oil ambassador, George Potter. It's good to be here with you.
Thank you.
Yeah. How are you going to start this painting here, George?
Right. Well, I always work from thin to thick with paint and from dark to light with paint. So I'm going to start with thin darks. So I'm immediately going to map out all my darker areas on my canvas. And I'm mixing a dark colour. My new favourite colour is Mars Red. I'm mixing it with my ultramarine blue, just to get a dark shade, which I'm then going to get on my, just put in places on my canvas. I'm also using a bit of medium here, which is my mix of 50-50 Cranfield and linseed oil, and also thinner.
Now, I've noticed you've already gessoed and primed your canvas with an earth tone.
Yeah, I have.
Why do you choose that brown earth tony color?
I don't like to paint straight onto white.
Okay.
My paintings, because I like to paint thin some places and thick in other places, I like to have the thin coming through. It gives more depth in the painting. Right. So having a colour behind, a warm colour, helps my paintings always maintain a little bit of warmth to them. Okay. And also because I predominantly paint landscape, it's very good to have a sort of reddish colour behind the greens.
All right.
It just gives a bit more depth, really.
Yeah.
So
I know when you're painting like fleshy tones, you want to have red underneath for, you know, kind of like the innuation of blood underneath the skin. So I guess that does create like a temperature for where you are. Absolutely.
In my cooler paintings, which I do as well, when the palette's slightly cooler, I do actually also, sometimes I'll just have a grey underneath, and sometimes it just doesn't show the base colour at all. But it just gives me a starting point in terms of tone as well. Okay. It just helps with the tone of the painting. So it's all very messy to begin with, as you can see.
I like it. It's really nice. It's kind of like you can squint at the picture you're working from and kind of
lots
see
and lots of squinting.
Where you want to go.
Lots of squinting.
And I see you're working the whole. You try not to stay in one
I don't
place.
Just work in one place. I work all over the whole canvas because it's nice to keep all the colours everywhere. It makes a more coherent picture. So, you don't just have one colour in one place, another colour in another place. I work the whole lot all the way around. So those are my very basic darks that I've put in, as you can see. What's lovely about oil paint is that I can actually wipe some areas back just to create a little bit of texture in the landscape. So I'm just using a bit of kitchen roll, and I'm just wiping back a little bit.
You really can. You can pull them right off.
You can pull it right off. But that is lovely because you've got that lovely warmth, the other colour coming through, and it just creates more depth and texture and a bit more interest. It is, yeah. It's accidents, but it's sort of planned accidents. Planned accidents.
I like that.
So now with this one, I'm probably going to put in some of these warm colours down here.
So you're going to the real far background.
I'm going to just put those in just because the thing with the colour is if I try and put those strong colours over the top of the other colours, I'm going to dirty them. So I want to put a really bright pure colour in here just so I've got that all along. Otherwise, if I try and put those lovely colours over the top of the other colours, it might blend and then it won't be quite so strong. So I'm just going to put some of those base bits in. And
this is your linseed oil here, or is that thinner?
It's 50-50 linseed oil and thinner. Right. So it's a little bit of both. So what I'm doing is just mixing a little bit of yellow with the flesh tint and a little bit of white just to get some of those lovely warm colours in. I also never do everything perfectly. It's never exactly how it seems. It doesn't have to be exactly. The idea is that your brain will fill in the gaps as a viewer. And you don't need if you want a photo, you can just take a photo. A painting should always be a little bit more interesting than a photo and have unusual marks and colours.
Tons of colours.
Loads and loads of colours.
There's so many different variations too. I can see why you use that warm background.
Yeah.
It's kind of pulling through some pink.
It does.
It's very natural looking.
And now I'm actually going to mix. What I do is I often add to the mix I've just been using to make another colour. And that's kind of created a really lovely grey. So I'm now going to use that without cleaning my brush. I'm going to use that in various places as well. It's sort of grey-green, which is rather nice.
Mm. You do very short, quick strokes.
I work as quickly as I possibly can. And by doing that, I'm sort of maintaining all this energy.
It's interesting you're working quickly because with oils, you can work so slowly.
Oh, yeah, you can take your time. I could do this painting over a course of, 3 or 4 days if I wanted to. But I'm using the oil paint. I use oil paint in a different way and I use it for different reasons. Not because I can meticulously work on a painting over a period of time, which obviously a lot of people do, and that's why they love oil paint, because you can keep going back to a painting and changing it. My ultimate is to get all that information down as quickly as possible, whether it's on this size of painting or whether it's on a really massive painting. If you get these marks down, the idea of whatever it is you're painting as quickly as possible, you're keeping all the energy. And now I'm adding more of my delicious King's Blue, which I absolutely love for landscapes. King's Blue Deep and Flesh Tint and Mars Violet are my go-to colours for any landscape painting now. And I'm just putting some of that lovely blue in.
Oh, it's so nice.
It's divine, isn't it? Yummy, yummy,
Very
yummy, yummy.
delicious.
Yummy colour. And I can now go over some of my darks, you see. I'm blending some of that with over my dark colours.
It all goes well together.
Yeah, it's just delicious.
It looks really nice, George. I think I'm going to let you carry on here. Is there anything I need to catch anything else we need to catch about this painting?
Okay, well, I'm going to work all over it and I'll keep going. And then right at the end, I always finish with I have a step back, have a good look, and then I finish with a bit of sort of pop of colour or a bit of light or something just to finish the painting. And then all done.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for sharing this with us.
Cool. See you soon.
See ya.